hunt the bank that is in the country number 3, number 4. Because they want to be on second and one.
Yep.
And what is their advantage compared to daily banking? What's their innovation? They are, yes.
Well, I like it. It's
app.
true.
Yeah, okay, app, nice. But what's besides that, what you can offer besides the housing loan, car loan? What is added project? So let's do it. And then when we changed this mindset, it actually started to make sense.
Today my guest is Elvis Sinijs. He's one of the leading figures in Lithuania's tech scene. He launched Apple Pay in Baltics and Romania. He grew the Kevin's payment platform, which was a significant platform, 15-fold increase in revenues and in growth. And he was also part of 75 million funding through multiple rounds. And now he's the advisor to Kaisens, which is AI-powered wearable for athletes, and I think quite interesting product Tingit, which works on a digital marketplace for fashion repair and maybe in the future other repairs. So
yeah,
welcome.
Exactly. Thank you, Evalds, for inviting me. My pleasure to be here. And who doesn't know as well, like you should be adding this, that I'm the first believer in the startup that you were making, right? So I remember the first time when Evalds and his brother was pitching, Ariel was pitching the Asia, and at that point, I think my as well journey started in the startup. So like we started, and now we know each other for already will be 10 years, I think, this year. Yeah. So that's a great journey, but a lot to share, a lot to discuss, different patterns, different industries, and
Exactly. I think really happy to sync up with what you've been doing, and to start up with the other listeners who might not know you. That you have this project management experience, early days, proponent of typical methodologies, Scrum, Kanban, Agile, and so on. To explain a little bit your journey from this project management into the product, which we will talk about, the Kevin.
Yeah, definitely. Like my overall as well background, maybe worth to mention, didn't start with IT straight away. I actually have been studying like chemistry, like after the school, and this is where the first application of projects has started to me. Like, and I'm sensing that I tried to put myself straight into creating a product. But in order to make a product, you have you need to run a project. Imagine you go to organic lab and you have a set of rules that you need to follow, and you just follow them in order to create a product. And then I understood that okay, this type of project for me is not fast-paced, because if you work in lab, it takes 1
You worked in chemistry lab.
Yes, in Riga
cool.
Technical University, and actually as well helped one of the PhDs to get the PhD at that point, because I was running one pretty interesting synthesis on the cancer treatment. That was cool experience. But then I decided I'm good at studies, I'm good, but I don't feel that it's kind of project that I want to run. I want to build the products. I want to be, and the first part I went to the Textual, and
it's one of the largest conferences in Baltics in technology.
Yeah. So, and as well, this is where you've been a lot, and from early days. And then I understood, okay, I want to build the products, because I met Marcus Filik. We actually exchanged the numbers at that point when the taxi.
You met him in Textual?
Yeah. We met now in Latitude as well in Estonia, and we talked about it, that we actually know each other for 10 years. But like the experience are different. And I understood I want to build as well something, and I'm super glad that I had expertise in this before, because my uncle runs a pretty large software company, mainly developing mobile apps, and he was one of the ones that brought first mobile banking applications to the Baltics, right? With winning the contests and tenders and making it, because he worked in States, with Microsoft, with Apple before, and was early pioneer in the mobile application world. And I just wanted to learn. But then again, I'm coming to the work. I did some of the finance, because then I started studying finance. and I'm like, oh, what is actually this person doing? You know, I don't have any clue what's the product manager, what's the project manager, because for me it always who ships the product? Engineers. And I never thought that there is something, you know, behind of all of this, because I said, oh, this is what CEO said, you know. And then I started realizing that there are those people, you know, and we were running multiple projects at the same time. And I started scouting, and I'm just like listing what qualities do they have, and then I'm matching what qualities do I have, or maybe what can I learn, and this is how it started. You know?
Or you noticed that this is something that might fit your personality.
Yeah, because it was like the point was he was super busy, and he said, can you reply to the client like this? We are running this project. You need to send like estimates. I was like, what the hell is estimates? What the hell is like PHP? What is this? Why we have front and back end? And this is the point when I started learning myself.
And you helped also later other new project managers start in the field. By the way, I have a similar experience as you. I don't know if you know that in detail, but because of my academic links as well, which are a lot of, I usually teach or one of my people teach all of my staff, so it's not like we're taking ready-made people out of the market. We grow them to the level we know, and we also have ways how to teach project managers, right? And it's interesting to observe some people who were not in the technological field, how they enter. And what was it like the way when you entered? Do you remember in the early days, did you like kind of pretended that you know things, or you were honest, or
I was asking a lot of questions. You know, I think at that point it's important to ask a lot of questions, but I was as well doing my own researches, and what I was fascinated about is mainly the interaction, human design. You know, I was maybe not that technical, but still I needed to understand like the payloads that is exchanged between APIs. You know, how we store the tokens and so on. So this is like a basic, and then I started trying to design as well myself. I actually applied first my competition and designs that I submitted for Swedbank, and I still sense that at one point they used part of it as idea, because it was a contestant, and I think I won some 50 euros about that, but it was redesigning the fully banking experience that they would have. And at that point I said to myself, I want to help banks actually become more modern, more cool, and I want to do it within the mobile apps, because for me it was like everyone will have in 10 years mobile applications, you know. And I couldn't imagine that this is reality, you know, because iPhones, Samsungs got smarter, they got powerful, so you supply all the apps.
Now, what do you think about AI? Like in 10 years, everybody have AI agents, right? AI assistants, like this, like a mobile phone, right?
Yeah, I would say, but still, as a humans, we want to, this is something I learned yesterday, is as a humans we want to see. We just don't want to feel it, we don't want to hear it, but we want as well to see something, experience it. And one of the experiences, so if all your inputs are digital, then you can experience it better. And this is something that AI agents will be with the voice. We know that it can be done, but I'm questioning now how.
Did you hear the latest 11 Labs V3 voice, right?
Yeah.
With the emotions,
yes. I actually was reading. It was pretty late night when they published it, and I was reading this model, and I was like checking the benchmarks already at that point, and I was like, okay.
But by the way, they silently updated even more, like just like.
So it's happening, you know, and this is the as well world that has changed, you know. I would say. The state of AI is not about, the current state of AI is not about successful project management and methodologies. It's about breaking things, trying and pushing constantly. And this is where the product comes in, you know, because product iterates every single day as we speak. You know, project would say, oh, by end of the project, we calculated, oh, this is something we need to add on top. And you have so much even unpredictability in the process, but in the same time, you kind of, you forget about it, you know.
Okay.
And
but so so you started with this project management, then you go to the product management. Just
how it happened, yeah.
But that's also really interesting. But just looking back at it and knowing a lot of things, like do you see also like AI like already changing the way how the project management is done? Can AI replace?
In a way, but 50%. You know. like what it will never replace is the politics. You know, the politics, the cooking, the meeting room vibes. Like I know,
there is some of that.
Yes, there is, and that's the essence of project and product. You know, for me, the project person is always saying, "Oh, you forgot," just to check in. You know, you need to do this, you need to do that.
Stand-ups, daily stand-ups.
But how do we measure effectiveness? You know, it's like simple one approach, but in the same time, AI can do this. You know, we don't need to always sync. We can do this async, and AI can help that. You know, and that's why why Slack was so powerful when the startup boom happened, because Slack had the plugins that could facilitate those questions and remove like couple of work from project manager.
Could you give an example of how you used Slack, or what is this advantage of that? Because like nowadays, I think after Salesforce acquired Slack and all of these, right, it is not as the forefront of things, right? Or is it still?
Yeah, in a way it is. In a way it's not. But for project people and actually it doesn't matter what product you are building. Right. It can be physical, digital. It can be software. What matters is like how the teams are connected. You know, what's the communication, and project's main focus is to align with all the bodies in the organization. You know, if you fail this alignment, this communication, then everything fails.
Wastes time, right?
Yeah.
Build something.
So how do we put into table business, engineering, and design? You know, it's a base as well of like product management. Project tries to understand every domain, but it doesn't. You know, it just looks a bit hierarchically. If you done it, okay. But product dives deep in every single aspect of it. You know, and that's why I say product consists of multiple projects, but every single project you need to run with this agility rather than just simply straightforward. Some projects in let's say chemistry, in hardware development specifically, it's a niche. You need to follow exact steps. You know, and even aviation, you need to follow exact steps. So this will be just a check. You know, like you cannot think something new. Oh, I will invent this and that. You know.
Cool. Just looking back before moving to the Kevin, is there anything like some kind of key takeaways from that period that you still apply, except learning the trade? Right? Is there maybe some kind of things that others you don't see often in other companies, which you picked up, which is important?
Yeah, I would say the mindset. Like if we check overall the understanding how many companies, organizations, startups actually using Scrum, Kanban, Waterfall, it's just a methodology. But what I notice is that everyone understands it differently. You know, the same way as if I prompt.
Is there a right understanding?
No, there is company creation. You know, and one company will take the best practices from this set of tools, but it will not work for them because they need to have some implementer. And I really like that there is a people who help to implement practices as you grow. But in early stage startups, you know, if we compare like from early stage to Series A, Series B, you have like chaos. You don't know what's the process, and then you reach one pitting point that's saying, okay, I need a process actually because I grew my engineering team and somehow we need to facilitate.
And then there is too much process.
And then there's too much process, but it's still a battle. And there is a great example. What I would encourage everyone is to follow those front layers of the process, how to build the product. You know, Lovable for me is a great example. I met Anton first time in 2019. When he was part of one Swedish company.
Cool.
And at that point I understood that this guy is cooking something.
He was already thinking about that kind of product?
Yeah. He was like a visionary. You know, next startup that he co-founded was as well like success, but now it's still going on. But then all passion always was about design and how to make it simple that everyone could generate this type of application. You know, like simple by saying word and the app is ready, because all the people came from project management. They understood that it's complex. It takes like X amount of time, like 6 months to launch the app. I want to do it in one day, and this is the challengers. Then another challenger is Linear. They saw what Basecamp did with Shape Up methodology. One of the best.
Basecamp, the old days.
Yes, but still one of the best product idea behind, and Linear used it. Linear integrated just the way they remove the cycles, they remove, sorry to say, bullshit policies. So you don't have a lot of meetings, but you stay united, and there is no need of backlog if we just can deliver the product, And this has changed, but it has changed just recently when AI piled up, because many product teams started to fail in a bigger organizations, that they don't adapt AI fast enough. And there is already
what are you nowadays doing when you do the product the management? You build your own tools using the Lovable and the other.
Actually, that's why I'm early in Lovable. I think one of the first ever subscriptions that they got was as well from me when they paid. So it was on great deal, because like early comer, and I started validating those ideas just because humans, as I said, humans need to see. And I couldn't design myself in Figma. I understand, how to design, but it would take for me. But
were you using it to validate some product ideas, or
before we actually designed it? Yes.
Or
before I involve more
as
well. Yeah.
Both.
So both ways, because I want to, for example, I had the idea. Okay, I will make quickly this iteration based on what we have already in our product. Then I'll generate something on the top, we'll write nice prompt, how I think, because I'm product person. Person in my world, they know how to write the prompts, because they write tons of user stories to engineers and specifications. So it's a writing job, And then you get an output, you test it, and you understood, okay, so this is something worth validating. We can run an experiment without actually paying.
I have seen something in the enterprises, like one of the large telcos back in Latvia. They use actually also Lovable, but for business analysts, basically. So they enter the product specifications, requirements, do this kind of demo product, and then they understand what works, what doesn't work, what needs to be changed. They go back in the document, and then it's everything ready. Then they ship it to the traditional way for development. So is that kind of the similar way?
But we speak about like how much time actually was wasted before. Like now I see that the time was wasted going back to even giving a designer what to design might be. Of course you want to involve designer in the creative, but now we had like a chat with designer. Let's wipe code before we actually ship, because I will do better than Lovable. Trust me. I trust my designer. I said he will do the best job with the all right components, with the all right interaction. But I want to interact with the users earlier. So what if I want to ship you a solution tomorrow rather than wait 1 week? When we prototype. And this is what us involves, to fail fast. If we fail, then okay, we try new.
But don't you think there's also that these things, they're great. They're also great for communication, for not eliminating misunderstandings, waste, whatever. But also that there is limitations. Like in at least right now, I don't think they're ready for scale. Basically, it's.
They are not ready to scale, and I think every time they will be limited, but it allows still to reach the point of 25% done rather than not done, and it helps, like we're discussing every week with the team that...
Well, I'm just saying that just for the expectations, maybe sometimes people think that it's like, it is kind of like a magic, but it is, you still need to understand a little bit what you're doing, so that there are some tool for the job A, and then there B and C. So
and that's tool selection starts. But and this is as well your mini project. And I'm today I saw one thing that last month Lovable alone generated 2.5 million websites. That is 10%. 10%. Listen to me. 10% of all generated websites in the June. In the world.
Generated or just published?
Published right. Together with generated. To me, this is like... Imagine 10%, so meaning that 10% of agencies will not having job. And what is nice for me, if I would be agency, I would start using these tools in order to ship and validate fast.
They do.
They do, for sure, yeah. And of course, they implement better design, better functionality, but
I would think maybe also they ship faster, but also you have opportunity to raise the quality bar. Basically, you have you can get with lovable subscription this high quality. Everything is okay, as you say, ship fast, but then you can push it even higher if you want. So
yeah. This is where it goes, and what I like is this 2.5 million websites show one interesting figure that not many people think. It means that they contributed to raising awareness. What is the product to the people who are not knowing what is the product. Imagine if I would jump in the days back 10 years ago. This is what I was doing. I was writing myself the prompt, but I was as well designing and trying to visualize it, to show it, but then I needed to code. So like the time was up to 6 months, right? Because
yeah, it's crazy. Like literally you could do probably with these tools like weeks of work, months of work, just in a few minutes. So it's crazy. Yeah. So that we already started jumping into the AI, which is good because we need to focus on AI here. But I want to bring back to the Kevin, right? As we are in Lithuania, Vilnius, which is one of they say Fintech capitals of maybe even Europe, and there's a lot of positive aspects about fintech around here. You know it better than me. And you raised serious funding for this product. I used your product every month. With utility payments. Can you just explain what was it like? What scale did you achieve? The good aspects of it.
Yeah, definitely the good aspect. So those who doesn't know on the podcast, but I'm originally from Latvia. I lived in Riga before 4 years, but now 4 years I'm living in Vilnius. And the reason why I as well came to Vilnius is because of this company, and I'm grateful that I came because I met love of my life. I have a daughter now, so it's like good end. Yeah, but the company end is a different story, and I think it's worth sharing that I joined as a foundational product manager, right? So when you come to the company and there's one CPO, and then you join as a first product. So what do? And in order to understand what Kevin did, Kevin just followed the new European standard called PSD2 Open Banking, connected all the banks in the Baltics and the Europe in order to start facilitating the payment. But they never received the payment on their own bank account. So it's just a transmitter layer, the same as any other payment service provider. And now you have a competition towards the cards, right? So you compete with the cards. You want to bring it online. That's the full package. We built it pretty nicely. We pushed away the cards. We grew a team. I really enjoyed every single day of it. I worked. I don't remember maybe 20 hours because the vibe was like in the legendary Silicon Valley movie. You feel this vibe every time because you're building something new and something impactful. You build it, you start hiring, you start scaling, you go to the new markets, but the essence comes to the point. Okay, what's breaking besides this just online payments? Because everyone was already in online payments. We had the competitors. So how do you compete with the competitors? You just offer different prices. Yeah. Okay.
The only thing what you could do is price, right?
Yeah, because if you think layers and technical excellence would stay the same. One partner would, one provider would do it this way, another would this. Our quality was, I would say, the best in the market, at least by API standards, because we wanted to create as well our own API standards, not only for our merchants, biggest retailers here in the Baltics, but as well for...
What was the scale of what you did? What is the percentage of let's say Baltic market? You also, as I read, actually 15 countries, right? A large part of Europe, right? What was the?
Yeah, I would say at one point at the topping point, but it took more than 2.5 years to reach that. But it's still a great figure. to owe in the payments that happens, million payments, I would say more than maybe 20 million payments in the Baltics overall happens, maybe now more. We owned close to 40% of it, right? So
online
it means
payments, yeah.
Yeah, so meaning all payments in the Baltics, 40% of it, every fourth payment, like if we say, come through us. Rest would come through traditional banking, and then the cards. And cards coming and saying, like, we see the traffic diminishing. What's happening? But
But did they actively do something about it?
Of course, they came. They wanted to be, as well friends. But we never wanted to build a cards product, because what we feel is.
Did you establish some kind of collaboration, right, with them, or not really?
No, we won the award of Mastercard in early days, but we never cooperated. We just wanted to distract them. We wanted to bring their revenues down, because the card payments, why you need the plastic?
But for those maybe didn't know that, especially maybe if somebody's watching you outside of Europe, we have this open banking where you are able to use APIs regulated by institutions, so that you must have these open APIs, so you can basically, if you have set up everything correctly, you could or make some payments directly without the cards.
Without the cards, yeah.
Right, to these API services, and it's even sometimes easier for the customer, right? At the same time, in your platform, if I remember correctly, it was possible to pay also with card, or not?
Yeah, that's another how we do it. But it's not a card payment. It's actually something that we designed. It's called Card Redirect. We would read the first numbers, the PAN number that you had in the card, and we know to what bank it is associated, because everyone in the Baltics, I know by the numbers, by the first 6 digits, which bank it belongs.
So it was like a fake card payment, like
it was not even card payment. It was like, we can offer you. We could accept the card payment. Yeah, we used like another provider for it, but mainly our goal was to make the card redirect to our. Yeah, and I think this is one of the smartest,
product aspect.
Yeah, and this was as well earlier when I came, and when I saw it, I was like, okay, yeah, nice. But mainly I came to build something, the next step, because online is nice market, online is booming, there is big competition, but where the competition is not big, in my opinion, and where there is a room to breathe as well in terms of your growth of the companies, and as well like why investors invested the money as they invested, is in order to make an impact in the point of sale, right? If I say that I can make point of sale payment 30 times cheaper, what does it mean for biggest chains here in the Baltics, Remi, Maxima? You cannot imagine, right? How much they are already paying.
I can imagine how that could work. I go to supermarket, I put my produce, and then I just authorize with my bank.
Same, but it will be the same experience.
No, I know exactly how it works, but why didn't you get to that point?
We did.
You did to get to that point?
Yes, of course. So I was mainly working together with the team and building that team online. I initially understood myself that online payment is great business to have, but then you need to rule the market in order to start dictating the price. And when you start dictating the price, when you reach some threshold, for example, you run like 40% of the market, right? So if you increase from the pricing that was as well publicly available, like 3 to 6 cents for the payment. So if you imagine increase that to 36 cents, so it's 10 times growth, right? So, but you don't want to offer that yet, because you are not ruling the market. And this as well approach what I noticed later on.
So you're losing money while operating, right?
I would say we were closing exactly with the money that comes from transaction to compensate the work that servers are doing behind. So you look, of course, if you go into typical card business, there is no way you cannot be unprofitable. Like you run, there is nice percentage always, you get bigger percentage. But we didn't want to go this way, because we want to create our own scheme, our own network, and be the third network of the Europe, because Europe, as a European Union, they as well bringing this open banking. They said we want to not get rid of, but we want third player that is besides Visa, Mastercard, right?
Okay. but there wouldn't there be? I'm just thinking, would there be all the not talking about price? Some other like even AI could come in and give some additional value in this layer, like I don't know, fraud detection.
But this is already built, you know, like
I mean, not even the payment would not reach the bank where you have your own some kind of added value to the processing of it.
Yeah, of course, but then you can offer the solution, but this is already add-on, so that's why you select like companies that are work on like onboarding, right? Like we have great example of onboarding here, like a startup that comes from Lithuania, Andato, right? Like they were one of the pioneers that onboarded digital customers, scanning, like making sure that the customer is not fraud, that seamless onboarding. You know, this is where the first layer of AI actually coming into the payments, because you cannot transact if you don't onboard the merchant by regulations, because there's like a lot of regulations that every single payment needs to be like what KYC, right? So and this brings thing, but then the full innovation is to create your own payment network that is the same way as Visa MasterCard does. We're speaking about billions because there is a big pool of money. Imagine how many now transactions happening as we speak in Maxima, in Remi, in Biedronka in Poland, in biggest market chains. Yeah, but that's everything goes through Visa MasterCard. So there should be some another layer, and how do we break that? And that's as well was one of the purpose of
it seems that you're not able to cross this, right? Can you like explain a little bit why exactly? So the math didn't work out, as you say. But
yeah.
Is there any way for anyone else? What do you think to succeed?
I would say definitely. I would say one thing is the timing. Another thing is the money that you have. Like
have to even more money than that.
Yeah. But like we are speaking about, we want how you compete with the giant in the finance industry, when your end customer is merchant, terminal processor, terminal provider, and in the end you are anyway selling to the banks. How much does it take time for any company now in the Baltics to sign agreement with a bank?
Yeah, okay. I know what you're talking. We're doing these contact center solutions, and we have in talks with some large banks for I don't know how long, like
exactly. So and you burn the money. Yeah, you're creating the tech, but then you're expanding as well to the new markets. And for me, the realization was that at one point when I came and I said, like, I think we don't need to be in Europe, you know.
Oh.
And because
but the open banking, you need open banking.
No, I traveled, you know, like I was telling today to my wife as well, like I was traveling like 110 flights I made to meet all the starting from Barclays, Santander, biggest banks, biggest CEOs, stakeholders of the banks in Europe, and they first, for them it's hard to understand what you're actually doing, because all of it, they already are goodly backed by Visa and MasterCard, you know, throughout of the programs, throughout of the additional financing and throughout of the cards. And for such industry change, you need more time, because it's a payments, it's day necessity, you know, like as a food. Payments is as a food, because in order to make a food, you need to pay. So, and it takes longer. For us, we scaled fast. We created the first prototype in just under 9 months. We raised the Series A, but then the next game is about, okay, you need great sales team. Yeah, we had a great sales team, but those deals that are happening is taking longer.
Oh, you can imagine, like that kind of deals, it probably takes at least 2 years, more than that, probably.
Look, I can as well tell, you know, by end of the 2 years and just even before bankruptcy, there were like some companies, okay, let's go and sign. But like, from what money do you operate? Like, how do you tell your partner that sorry, like, and you are not sustainable enough, and that then all the banks look at you like saying, okay, so it's like risk for us because you do risk evaluation, right? So what if you are, and everyone asks, you as a startup, you're out in 6 months, what happens? And we see what happened with online payments, right? In online, if there would be a pause payment, it would be harder to I would say, come back. But when there is an online payment and the market was already structured, all the competitors just simply, at one day, took the clients. One day, and all clients are gone. You know, when they see the signs.
Yeah.
And to me, but for me, always, I say, there is no money. You need to add something on the top besides this open banking. Because banks, by the default, they don't understand the way how open banking can make the money for them, you know? But throughout of this POS angle, if you look, banks start making where money in the point of sale angle. And this is what we wanted as well differentiate.
But don't you think now, because of that experience, they will be even more scared of implementing something like that?
They will be, but now then we have a new payment scheme as well in Europe happening when all banks consolidated together. This is exactly what we do, but they are still doing this exercise, as I say.
Who is leading that?
The name was I think Vero. Or,
it's like a European project, yeah.
Yeah. I need to double.
It's financed by
banks, but as well like Europe, and of course like Commissar of Europe was coming to Vilnius.
There will be some kind of common.
It's already they launched in Luxembourg, in Austria, and what I understood as well. You don't need to always scale and think about Europe, but you need to find the problem. What we didn't do initially, I think, is we didn't look what is the country problems. Baltics is already, I would say, pretty enough with the card networks. You know, it's not invention here, but in some Hungary, Czech Republic, they are seeking for somebody that is not Visa MasterCard, so they want to implement country-wide scheme.
There?
It's about the mindset. I think they want to maybe monitor closely money that comes to the central bank, and they understand that there is ability as well to earn for local banks better. Because actually, what we did in the end, like banks joining Kevin network would earn more money than they are with Visa MasterCard. But the math doesn't end up, and I was a lot explaining about how this network full works. And some of people worked in Visa, MasterCard for 15 years. They couldn't understand like what we're talking. And this brings me to the question is overall the industry knowing what they are doing. In many aspects,
they used to things
or they just believe. It's like manifest that we will not change what has been 50 years, but we wanted to be this badass company, but pushed till the end. Of course, it's the best, greatest learning, first ever bankruptcy of the company, such scale. Of course, a lot of bad moments, good moments, but good moments is definitely to building engineering team together with powerful leaders,
also
learning from powerful leaders, because the top class people were joining at the point, but we scaled too fast. And like as well, I think raising money is not about employing more people. It's about, I would say if we would be 50 people, we could scale the same way as we would be 300.
Yeah, like if you're running on such slim margins or non-existing margins, then especially competing against Visa or MasterCards,
it's like we
they need to be ready for long run, right?
It's long run, yeah. It's 5-10 year game, but in the end you're a winner, like 100%, and you start generating billions. But on one side, I feel that investors maybe as well didn't understood that. Many investors now want faster traction. But the state of art is as is. As in one conference, and in Latitude conference in Estonia as well, said that banks need to a bit give the sandbox environment just to try. Because banks are afraid to experiment. They think that it's like damages the reputation. But I would go like, hey bank, just create a sandbox for those startups. What actually I like, one of the banks that you perfectly know yourself, Raiffeisen Bank, created such a lot of sandbox. Like I spoke with them as well during Latitude, and I like what they do, but we need more companies like that.
Well, like for example, give some more practical example how business could develop in such a sandbox or
they would see there would be real customer exposure by day one. They would be not waiting for 1 year, and they would already start generating some of the traction.
Some kind of consent-based group of clients of the bank.
Yeah, because they do have clients. Like why not to utilize those early adapters? Because every product has early adapters of the solution. And the banks do roll out They do it already. They just roll out internal products, telco services roll out as well for specific customer. And this is where the product mindset thing comes in, that you need to be brave to experiment, but you need to as well understand the risks of experiment. And I would say the banks, as a bigger banks, they are very protective and reserved, that they want to give somebody even maybe exposure to data.
Well.
Regulated, and that's another. But this mindset should there is a lot of opportunities to that, even with the regulation. It's just simple common sense. Just give a sandbox project.
But I think it's again, we'll just clarify because of my connections with where we do the AI association, AI legislation. So basically, we're writing the national stance on the AI Act and all of these things. And I don't think enough people understand what actually these sandboxes mean, basically. So this is one way, as you say, on consent basis. Maybe the early adopters, everyone who wants to try out technology, can do it. It's not pushed,
it's on your own it's not risk, pushed.
Basically.
Yeah.
So you kind of transfer risk from one side to another side. That it could be even in that case, like if the governmental level it is adopted, it could. Even though, for example, in Europe, the level 5 autonomy for the cars is prohibited, even in the Americas, every month, new city, thousands of fully autonomous car. Europe thinks this doesn't exist. Actually, it exists, right? So, but somebody could implement this kind of sandbox, right? So this is the city. You take risk on your end, and you can drive driverless, basically. So it could be.
It's about risk appetite, and I think I really like those third layer, top 3 bank, the number one person. This is the best quote that I learned, is hunt the bank that is in the country number 3, number 4, because they want to be on second and one.
Yep.
And what is their advantage compared to daily banking? What's their innovation? They are
Well, I like it. It's true.
Yeah, okay, app, nice. But what's besides that, what you can offer besides the housing loan, car loan? What is added project? So let's do it. And then when we changed this mindset, it actually started to make sense. Because what happens is when everyone speaks in the room, right, in the country, when third and fourth signs, 1 and 2 feels threatened because they know what's coming. And we're speaking any percentage increase in number 3 is losing portfolio for both of them. So it's like unification. And then they say, oh, actually, we want as well. And this is what happened. And this is what's happening with the technology. And this is why I was so fascinated about Dubai itself. Dubai banks think like this. So
you've been working with this financial startup technology innovator and meeting also the old banks, like lots of them, executives and so on. And recently, McKinsey also published the article where they argue that at least half of, even more of the work done by a traditional bank can be automated by AI at some point, even in not so far future. Like in your experience, how much of bank processes, what do you think could be automated with AI? How close we are at this stage where we could buy or sell a software as a service, another way like service as a software.
I think that's the bank ultimately becomes like a pool of clients. Like you have pool of clients, but you offer different services, starting from issuing the cards for the payments, like bank accounts, loans, any more insurances, and so on. So in every single segment, you have some defined problems. What I've seen so far, I think it's even before AI was cool, but many people started doing that, is you need to verify the customer. Right? So how do you onboard the customer? Do I need to go now in person, or I can do it from home? So this is the first question. And I think the process and the time that it takes for me to make a home is as well like AI job, because AI can recognize the face, AI can check all the databases. You know, basically your AI agent is running. Yeah. Now many companies has built it like custom. They don't say it's AI. It's just simple like API calls to the databases. But ultimately, AI agent can help you to make your account opening super fast or update some information.
So that's one use case, and maybe as you have more experience with other banks, it seems that maybe because it's smaller markets, the Baltics, at least in my experience, almost all banks do have something like that, right?
Yeah, of course. And my brother now actually, what's interesting, I have a younger brother that is doing research on AI and legal complications from European Union, and he did the thesis on Baltic banks. You know, like did some survey around and said like, actually 80% of them are using AI in a sense, right? So how many banks do we have? Like one bank is not using that, it means. So, but in what sense they are using the AI, you know? And I'm thinking, do they understand? First question what I ask. Do they understand what's AI, and do they think that customer onboarding is done by AI? Of course, there is some element,
so
but it was
just ask banks they use AI, like I think they're like
they cannot use ChatGPT.
Right. I mean, they probably would respond positively because they have some kind of credit scoring, whatever, something.
But it's API request. It's just later the API request that is aggregated to make a decision. This is important, right? So if I feed information on the client, AI can give me a decision. Do I want to issue the loan or no? Like this is something, you know, one of the Latvian companies did that was sold, Nordigan, that was sold to go cardless. But was it AI component? No, it was just, did we call it AI? Never we call it AI, yeah, but now we might perceive that it was like AI. It's just the data models that pass, gets one API, connects, you create the rules, right? In banks, you should as well understand banks outsource a lot of services. They are not building everything in-house, and that would be, I would say, stupid in one way. You want to be fast, so you want to break things, and you want to protect the customers, so you want to win the market. So you start, outsourcing companies, and where the most important, I think, the focus should be is customer support. Customer support is the most loaded, in most of the banks, is most loaded channel. So how do you unload this channel? You know, and I think this is where AI can do. AI can call already now. Like I like this approach what Brody did. You know, you get a call and it's like real human person, like what Google is launching. I think this is where we are moving, because we will not understand who is a real human behind.
Yep. And you probably prefer at some point talking with AI agent rather than a human, especially in the kind of problem resolve.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because in that case, there will be no negative emotion. There will be clear way how to solve your situation.
Exactly, and AI would understand. Like I think this is what I really loved from day one about Asya. It's like Asya can understand how do you speak, right? And I think the Asya's wave and overall this type of wave only happens now. You know, like you were innovator, but maybe not in the right time. But time is now as well, like for many companies, because human beings. If I'm saying like you're super smart, but the next client says, oh, you're stupid. So I might have a negative emotion to that, and I will shoot it. But while AI would be more like confident, AI might tell something that is out of the box, but it's our as well responsibility to train the models that they understand the essence of the conversation, right? So I think this is the main focus. Another focus, banks want to earn money. Where they earn money is like two things. Payments currently I don't see yet how they would implement full AI cycle unless it's like fraud detection. Fraud detection should be number one job that should be solved. Another job is actually in the trading, right? So if somebody puts a deposit, so how do you trade your portfolio? And this is already happening before, like we are discussing. It's already happened like for the last 5-7 years. As I see, people just created a custom software, but now to offer for a new bank that doesn't have it, it's way easier than you used to build it for 5 years. The logic was different,
maybe
and
also
the inputs were different.
AI and other sorts of innovations could help banks to go to other types of assets, not just typical like some kind of index funds or something.
Yeah, but this is as well skeptical, Pat. I had a conversation couple of months back with one bank in Dubai that they are thinking to get this like crypto assets, for example. Yeah, but
they could be even more innovative. I have seen like artworks, like or like all sorts of ways that are untapped still.
Yeah, but this is I would say it's not the main revenue stream, but still, if you want to prove or experiment, this is why I'm saying the sandbox is needed for those type of experiments, because bank wants earn millions, not thousands. You know, like it's complex situation for them. They need $1 million of returns, not 1,000. 1,000 would not make any better their balance sheet because they have like, you know, employees and so on. But on the other side, what I'm feeling is that employee count will be reduced.
Where is you definitely know more about that. So where are those customer service, right? We have pitch patterns, Eldigan. There's other ways how to do this, but then where is many people that you think might be?
They would be like AI spectator. You know, they will be curator.
No, that I understand, but right now
they are simply gone.
Which areas in the bank are still very manual, except the customer service, right? There's, as you know, like
business clients mainly. I think maybe on not that much in private. Business clients is a bit different type of customer group that I noticed that AI would not much replace. You know, it's about the trust over there. With all the bigger segment, it's about like fast paced. But if you want, still bank generates money from the businesses a lot, because if you see like how much loans for the factories are given on what nice percentage. So how do you make the trust? AI will not be making trust in that pace. I currently I'm skeptical.
Maybe that one personal business client, how you call manager, or that he would use AI so that previously he have sustained relationships of 10. Maybe now they can sustain 20. I don't know. Like,
but usually it would be then one relationship per contract, right? So the bank as well is interested they understand that business operates, they want to upsell a lot of services. I would use AI agent in this case as an upseller. You know, upsell, like when you did the base job by the human, but then you start upselling multiple services when actually the customer doesn't notice that it would be, imagine now what I'm thinking. You sell me service, like we shake hands, everything is nice. And then in a couple of months, I received the offer, like call from you. Hey, Elvis, I want to sell you insurance for the fire, because like our sum of alerts said that you are. And this is cool. AI gets all information for banks about some of the potential risks in the sector. You know, supply the data out of all the sources to make the faster decision making on where to maybe supply additional funding, where to de-risk the customer. So,
and they could, if you say that typically they have one manager per one large client, they have all of the data of how they operate, and the AI could cross-reference. They could say, that guy offer similar to this, or. Yeah, but there's a lot of opportunities, and I also think that so I have one experience with private jet companies where basically they also have very
human-based relationship.
Like human-based also that so as simple as that they have these private jet airports around the world. There is all sorts of information about as dumb as like when it's open, like what are some things you need to make sure. You could go on website and look, but they like that there is this personal touch. Could you just
of course, but we speak about big tickets, and this is what I'm currently doesn't connect in my mind. How I can sell service, like I have one number. How I can sell 100K service with AI.
No, but there is one extra thing. So there is this. AI can detect the moment where you need this personal touch, but often, as my experience shows, they will at least like 60, even 80% questions are really dumb. So basically, you could just answer them even yourself by looking at the website, but AI can give you the answer, and then it filters out those 20% that you need to pay attention, and then in that way, basically, first of all, you can increase your business because now you have 80% more free time, right? But I think there is still opportunity in that space, also in this private way how you handle deals.
Yeah, I think it's a move, but we are speaking as well like it depends on the situation, and in most of the cases it depends what's on the table, like what money are we speaking about.
That's also true.
Like I haven't seen yet, like correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't seen AI yet sell 500,000 contract to somebody.
No, you would not. At least in everywhere I see with our clients, nobody yet trusts it to that extent.
So the trust should the same as we discussed with the Kevin. So the trust layer would take ages to change, and even now customers that are into, imagine customers know the GPT, they like use it every day, or any other platform. They start already seeing that the answer was provided by AI, and what's the first impression? You as a user of AI, you get impression of the AI, and you say, oh, but it's like AI generated response that I didn't want to see, because my AI didn't match my response expectations, and this is where I see might be the problem, because
the EU regulation actually requires that you put the user notification on these messages, but at the same time, how we solve it, I think many will solve it in that way, and I think it is all a little bit stupid, is that you should just put the human in the loop, just pressing the button, and then it's not anymore fully AI generated. Frankly saying, I think a lot of these AI regulations that they put in place are a little bit overboard, and kind of doesn't make sense, but we'll see how they pan out.
It might trigger as well, like what in the article that later I can share as well in the comments, what my brother took on the legal stance of it as well, that the thesis would be that there will be more legal cases against the companies, in a way, because human beings, if they would not be getting what they want, they would start some kind of legal action, even to the company. And then how do you proceed to that? Like, oh, my AI generated this type of response. Well, actually there was no human. And that's why I'm thinking even the banks at least should have those AI watchers, at least one guard. Imagine like you go to supermarket, there's a guard that's watching.
That would be new profession, yes, AI watcher.
Watcher, yeah, new profession. We remember this, yeah. And I think there should be a person who watches, monitors, and reports, because there should be somebody that trains the label as well by understanding the conversation what's going, And I would be really happy if somebody already doing that. Drop the link below. That's super nice idea, I think, for all the bankings, because this is as well way point how you can sell the bank. If you say like, oh, we have AI, but we have AI watcher
service. Right, that's not bad at all. So you get compliant. You don't need to put the notifications on. Like
you have human, you have due diligence, right? So
somebody to put the trust on, and basically responsibility.
Yeah.
Let's go to more innovative, cutting edge stuff like Kaisens. What is Kaisens? What do you do there?
Yeah, well, it's actually post Kevin this breakup story. I was while looking for a job, I made a Upwork profile. Like I was thinking, okay, for the first time, let's try Upwork, what it will give.
You did an Upwork profile?
Yeah. I never worked on Upwork, and then just some random person texts me and says, "Are you in Lithuania?" I'm saying, "Yeah." Well, let's have a call. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe some scam or something. And the Paul, co-founder, super smart guy, worked in States, worked for Intel, built first supercomputer, Aurora. Does it make sense to you?
Oh yeah, I've heard of.
So he's one of the foundational as well engineers there. Brought back during COVID, relocated here. And since he was like super into fighting, he's like, we have like small team. When we checked your profile, we need somebody that could, do the product. And in the end, as well, I became co-founder. So more from operational as well, helping with investor relationships and many more. Now more on advising side, because the company is doing amazing as well pivots to different sectors that is related to the security. But what Kaisens in a nutshell is, it's basically wearables for athletes, where you can monitor all your progress, and your body is not just one sensor, but you can attach like up to 5 sensors and get all the data in the posture about your progress during one of the activities. Primarily focuses on boxing, because in boxing, if you think like this, boxing and overall fighting sports, coaches are really biased. They focus on like a lot of group of people rather than, of course, individual trainings. But coaches needs to be educated, and this was one of the thing that, hey, we want to help gyms out there with the coaches to get better at what they do, because they are missing out the two things. That the person who is preparing for a fight is running out of the energy because important match, because as an athlete you always overpush, and then you don't have any data. You just record the video of yourself, but video, what does the video analysis mean? There is no such a thing. And we said, okay, we want to put something that reads all your body, and this is what we do. Created our own AI model. We have PhD guy Žygis worked previously as well in pharmaceutical, one of success companies that was part of the vaccine company that created like one of the COVID vaccines. He had really great background with like Oxford folks, UK folks, and so basically the company is up and running, building own models, training models, and signing nice contracts with the local companies, and even in Latvia, in Lithuania.
Is like what is the perfect customer there?
Perfect customer is the one that prepares for the fighting match. Or perfect customer could be not individual, but it's a club, because clubs usually is for them every tournament is important in order that it's goes better for their ratings.
You provide only the sensors, or
sensors with the app that for
kind
coaches
of
that
app
would
for
so
training?
I can see now. Imagine I can see all. Not only the heart rate of the person, but I can see the full posture, how they do the things, how they kick, how they hit.
I've seen something like that already. Like I remember a couple of years ago when we started, there were also American guys in Baltics also raising money and doing all sorts of these trackers. There's even also they're not doing bad. There's actually quite good at the hack sense, right? Hack motion. Yeah, sorry. Hack motion and
Hi to Alice, yeah.
I think they're doing a fantastic job, and there's like in your sense, like what is your like go-to market? Where do you see that this is different? This
same US, when we started all of this, and since Paul was living in Chicago for many years, he always wanted to US. US is different market. US as well, like mentality on combat sports is important, but now I think only about like a gyms, but we want to bring us more to the military trainings, because some of the things that you currently see, the trainers, the chefs, they don't see, how individuals perform. It's not just one watch, because one watch could not read many parameters. It's about your full body, how your full body acts, and what mistakes you are, and annotating that, improving performance, and that's pretty much it.
Or can you give like one concrete example of how this helps to achieve like higher performance?
So as per Paul is getting less hit to the face. He has less scars now in the trainings. No, this is like simple. He learns. Once he got the punch to the head, he knows what he's actually making, because the coach was not seeing that, and now, the app would say, hey, like actually at this particular moment, this is what you did. We have like full like transpose model that would imitate you in 3D space, and you know exactly where was everything wrong.
So you can go back in time and it would say you should
you don't need to have a video.
Done that.
Yeah, exactly. So it would annotate and improve and maybe give you like a suggestions about like which particular sportsman or which particular technique to improve.
And you can compare with others as well. Like with the video, it's just you, but with
video, like if I make now video, like for example, you would see it, another camera might not see the angle, right? So angle is biased, and even in the NFL, what we see in the TVs, we don't see many things what happen with the feet, foot, and hands. So this is the way to make even broadcasters experience way better, because you can provide real-time stats.
You could do like simulation, but also you could feed on other data like from other fighters. So basically, you can compare yourself.
And grow. And this is great product. I really like that they are pivoting. They are trying specifically into new angle that is related to the drones, and something that you can use in military essence of.
How you connect this to drones?
Because you have understanding how to build a sensor, so you can map all the mesh. You are creating mesh network basically. You can create, and currently, like for example, what's one of the problems as well happening is there's friendly drone fire. But nobody have thought how to solve it, and Kaisens solves friendly drone fire.
Okay, from fighters to friendly drone fire.
Yes, yeah, and
that's
super. Yeah, that's one of us well believes, and thanks as well to the investors that Baltics Sandbox Venture Base V. They are well funded by NATO, and that's one of the angles to explore. But there is definitely a need, especially what I'm saying. Combat is as well part of the military, but the way you can shape it, it's even for the drones that flying, because you have patented technology. Yeah, we do have 2 patents in United States for that, and you can reuse it in different applications. It's multi-purpose application. It's not only sensor, like it's not only athletes. You can place it wherever.
Well, that's very interesting.
I'm thinking actually to use, when my daughter will grow up bigger, to use one of the sensors in order to track as well the movements, you know, because if you equip the movement, you know how the person progresses over the time, and maybe in rehabilitation cases. So.
There are many cases, but that kind of pivot is really like unexpected, like coming from training the martial arts.
But this is hard reality about the hardware startups. Hardware startups, not many hardware startups succeed. You know, if you start hardware startup, think twice. Disclaimer this, but it's hard to be there. You know, I met so many investors that just said
what is with the investment? Of course, is a struggle. But what else? Like, do you see is the kind
of? It's the time. It's still you run this product with a bit more waterfallish approach, because as well, like if you have suppliers, they would work in waterfall approach like project manager. You know, you have intake and then production, like 6 months. So what you do in 6 months, okay, you can do the parallel things, but then anyways, the process is pretty
slow. Right, that is really interesting. Okay, good learnings. Then finally, Tingit.
Yes.
So this, as if you find in the website, it is sustainable fashion technology, or all of the at least one of the catchphrases you have there. Then it is about, like, if I don't know, like break my favorite clothing item, or like tear somewhere or something, I can send it over to you.
Exactly. Yeah. So, like, simply Tingit is a pre-seed startup, right? Doesn't operates a bit more than a year. And what's good about it, like the company found the problem itself in what's already happening, right? If you don't have a time, you're a busy person, you don't know as well where to go to repair your jackets, to polish your shoes, to clean your shoes, to fix your shoes. It takes you time. For busy people, do we have time? No, we code AI, right? Because we spend a lot of time coding AI now. So, or vibe code, whatever it works. And with the Tingit, it came just a simple example that, okay, like what if a person can do everything from home? You know, submit, simple process. Take a picture of your item where it's broken, and we know where we need to send it. We send you price, you pay, and courier comes, or you put in a parcel shop, and we get you item back fixed.
Okay. Is there any AI in that?
Yes, of course. There is quite a lot, and I think the main thesis what we are doing it's fully AI powered because starting with the pricing, right? So you need to have a pricing engine because we connect. We are not the ones who repair. We are connecting the repairees. Yeah, for example, in France we have more than 50 repairees in different points. We know every single service of them, the price list, and then what if one shoe comes with a small break there that needs to be glued? So the AI at this point would do. We have two options, either AI, either human. We have specialized person inside of the team who can assess the damage, but assessment of the damage, how long it takes? It takes a lot. And if we start putting a knowledge of the person to the model, we can already predefine where to send. So we are speaking about sending price offering from 2 hours to 3 seconds.
No, that's
right?
needed. Otherwise, they would not even use the service.
Yeah. And
well, you take a photo and it says, "Oh, wait, after a couple of hours you will see the price."
Yeah, but this is exactly what But this is how we started, and we made as well a conclusion that this type of service needs to be fast. You need to quote person, but somebody, usually it's like a person who does the job. It's not standard pricing because there might be some additions that you picture the pictured item, and then you see, actually we can offer additional cleaning. And for example, AI already can say, what value-added services do you want to bring inside of that? That our specific partner would manage to do.
Why fashion items? I can imagine many types of items would. So
break, right?
Yeah, we could break, and then it's I don't have time to find who can repair specifically this item. Often people even just buy a new one.
Just throw away, yeah. But this culture as well is changing now. For example, I really like why it happens in Lithuania and France, because there is a vintage, right? So everyone is using more second-hand and buying there. So it kind of stipulated that, okay, if I buy something expensive, so I want to protect it, and there is just one car, why should I sell it? Or if I can still use it, but I just need to find a place where I can fix it, And on the other side, the fixing means that you can upgrade your item's value and then resell it. I did quite a lot.
You could just also you could get rid of some item. You can take it directly to Vinted or.
But this is exactly the whole point. How I see. I tried myself like this. I bought some really good quality Louis Vuitton shoes, and then I repaired them via the platform. One of our artisans, and I made a profit out of it, 200 additional euros.
Well, why Vinted still? I think that they still don't have this kind of function where you can just ship it out and they will sell themselves, right? Why don't do that?
I don't know. We need to ask them. But our founding team, as well as very early guys from Vinted, from Palmono, we have really great expertise for pre-seed company of just 12 people. It's really great to be in the team, and we are making impact. But fashion is just a start, right? Fashion is 130 billion industry, but we're moving forward. We're adding electronics, furniture. Definitely, yeah, and cool. there is a demand, definitely, and that's what I like, is that we can test this demand side really fast. And for us, opening new market as well is taking less time, because we've been there, done that, with all experiences of Kevin, of many others as well, failed in the startup, succeeded in the startup. So we just need to combine everything and make people in the end happy. Of course, there's a lot of challenges around the way, but I think we becoming AI orchestration engine becomes the core of the platform, and there is no much of platforms. There is, I would say, 0 platforms like this that does in Europe. They mainly focus on B2B, but we want to focus, on the customer side.
Yeah, but the B2C usually means, especially if you're talking about apps, big budgets to educate, right?
Yeah, of course. But we have really great marketing. We have in-house marketing, so that's the.
How many users you already have?
We have more than 10,000 customers at this point, right? And I can definitely share the fact that once we received the bag that is worth 15,000. right? So this is the items starting from just a simple mouse of the kit that costs maybe €2, but it has emotional connection, and ending up with a bag that is costing 15,000.
Right,
so
take care of that.
yeah. And I would expect that there will be more and more in items like this, because people change as well the mindset. They shift, not maybe, even though consumerism is present, they would change the mindset as well to protect given items and see if there is a value actually.
Maybe you can at some point even make sense financially that would make more sense than just buy a new one.
Yeah, definitely.
No, I like that a lot. I was always, not always, but I time to time think that this kind of service should exist, and hopefully it will be more available in this future. Like you can just walk up to these post boxes or whatever.
Yeah.
So it'd be great. I like it. So great that you're working on another venture that is also, again, AI is essential there, because otherwise nobody will wait for a couple of hours. And
customer support as well, right?
Yeah.
So both, and actually, if I would say to you, we actually using this, like what I said to you, AI Watcher, because we really monitor as well predefined answers, what customers are getting, and we see as well this input that customers sometimes doesn't understand fully what AI says, but it's a lot of training, a lot of modeling, and it's anyways comes from the human being, labeling those conversations.
Excellent. Okay, so towards the end, we'll try to do some fun questions. Hopefully they're fun. Riga or Vilnius?
For this 4 years, Vilnius, and now it's Vilnius, definitely. Because of the cycling ecosystem, actually. I would put by that. And
oh, that's cycling, right?
Cycling, yeah.
Hey, I was not expecting that. Okay, Latvian or Lithuanian food?
Both, because both have potato pancakes.
That's not as different. So real dog or robot dog?
Real dog.
Not
preferably
robot dog.
Kokopoo, yeah.
Which gadget you always take with you? Except phone.
Except phone.
Or you have no actually gadgets?
Now gadget free. Actually limited my gadget.
Did you had some time where you were doing lots of gadgets?
Yeah, like Whoop. No, I don't have Whoop, but Whoop mainly. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, what's your favorite keyboard shortcut that you can't live without?
It would be in my Control Shift 4. Command Shift 4. It's a screenshot. Yeah,
but I recently installed some. I put it on Command Shift 2 or something where I can take it.
I have it on the mouse, so I pre-programmed it in the mouse for one click, not to make it.
More advanced.
So I saved 5 seconds of it.
That's good, but I was trying to say some tool where I can take a screenshot and it will do the automatically OCR. It will give me a text, so it's often much easier than just try to select something on web which don't want to select.
Nice.
So that's that. Slack dark mode. Do you like it?
I'm using it.
By the way, I was using dark mode as a developer for a long time, because I also multiple roles. But basically, at some point, I just realized that when I show something to my students or people, it's very hard to display things on dark mode.
Yeah. And then light mode. Wow, what happens?
Yep.
This effect.
So I went back. MacBook or ThinkPad?
MacBook.
Even after all of these AI fiasco. Yeah. So still trust they will come back. Okay, one book you would recommend every project manager?
Mom's Test.
Even for the project managers, huh?
For project managers.
Good, I know that one.
Because to test the developers, if they are making sense out of it. It's like, does everyone understand in the room? Yes. And then comes after project meeting, no, we don't.
I know that. I know exactly what you mean. So, great product leader is?
Patient.
That's not bad. That's very good. Faster win cutting the scope or adding more people to the job?
Shortening, because you had faster actually trying if something breaks in than putting more people.
What's harder, perfecting tennis or project management?
Oh my God.
Because I read
Both need patience, right?
You like tennis, right?
Yeah, I do. I would say perfecting the stroke and the backhand would be the tennis one. You know,
That's harder.
Yeah.
Biggest facepalm moment in Kevin?
We don't have money anymore to pay salaries.
Oh, that is bad. That is really facepalm. So
No, actually, another one. We'll get a new investment.
What's the most hackathonish type of product you have shipped?
In a hackathon way, yeah.
No, I mean like duct tape type of way or vibe code type of way.
Yeah, so I would say that it was exactly the new type of category testing that we gonna launch and with the customers to test if this particular category makes sense.
What's fintech buzzword that you want to make disappear from LinkedIn and so on?
Compliance.
Compliance. Okay. Yeah, that is one. I read somewhere you have planted 500,000 trees. Mm-hmm. Is it true?
Yes.
Yourself?
Yes.
Yourself with hands?
Mm-hmm.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
That's
I was 16 in the north part of the Sweden. It was like, yes, summer job. It was for 4 months, so it was intense, but I'm happy.
Which type of tree species presents a great company?
I would say oak because you need to have a patience to grow stronger.
Patience, that's word.
My number one, yeah. My wife would say, yeah.
One AI myth you would debunk.
AI will save the world.
If you would have infinite money printer, what kind of moonshot project you would like to do?
I would keep investing in the current ventures because I'm assigned to them.
Cool.
And would probably invest in some fintech that is solving AI watcher problem.
AI watcher problem. I know you pivoted, but if you could give Kaisens to some professional athlete, which one you would like to give?
Definitely Mr. Fury. Like he would give a great feedback because another guy is already invested in another competitor, so we need him on board.
Fury.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Fury.
And finally, do you have a free Times Square billboard? What should you put there?
AI Ranch podcast.
Thanks. Thank you. That would be so lovely. Okay, great to meet you, Elvis, again. Really happy for your ventures. Really insightful conversation, at least for me, hopefully our listeners. So where can people find you?
LinkedIn is the fast track. I'm happy to be open to the messages, right? So if you want to as well, like anyone can reach me all the time. I reply typically within one business day, like. So, yeah, happy to go through the journey, help any companies, just to talk with nice companies that are doing something in fintech and looking as well for if somebody works in fashion as well. Pretty happy to connect.
Fantastic. Okay, thanks.
Cool. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for listening to this episode. As gratitude, subscribe, and see you in the next one.